So I've been with my client looking at warehouses in other parts of Sydney. We went to Alexandria and to Chippendale, everywhere. And when we arrived at the bakery in Newtown, it had the history, it had a character, it had an urban setting, which is completely unique. You're right in the middle, next to a pub, next to a candlestick maker. You have this unique urban setting, yet you have 800 square metre. It was like, you gotta be kidding me, this is it, this has to be it.
As soon as we walked in, I was like, wow, this is amazing. I had a swimming pool in the middle, high ceilings, old wooden trusses. I'm like, wow, this is a great project. This is it, 100%.
200 Australia Street, also known as the bakery. It's an amazing project. I mean, from the moment you walk in, it's just so surprising. It's a hidden gem.
When I walked into the bakery, it was just this incredible moment, almost like walking into a sacred site. It's that sense of place that just hits you the minute you walk in it. And it's like goosebumps, really.
It was actually on the market for quite a few years before my clients bought it. The previous owner was in no real rush to sell. Because of its location, it would have been very attractive for developers to put apartments or studios, but the owner wouldn't sell to them. So the previous owner was very clear that this has been our family home for 30 years and we want it to be a family home. So they would knock back offers even though it was the price they wanted, because they felt, no, this is not what we want for this house.
You look around everywhere in Sydney, it's just new high-rises, new towers. It's just amazing to be able to come in here with so much history and so much culture. It's just like looking back in time. We are uncovering the history of this building every day.
I think there's a real joy, the fact that it's not going to become a multi-res, or that some big developer got their hands on it to create something that wouldn't really give anything back to the community. So we're trying to be very, very considerate of the community.
What I love about the bakery is the history and the materials that are here on site, and also the constant discovery of new things as the project unravels itself.
The first part, which is kind of the older cottage, was built in 1909 when it was just a little corner shop. And then this part that we're sitting in now was finished in 1922, which was the bakery part of it. This is such a unique space on so many levels that everything we do needs to really sing with it.
Because it's an older style, there are smaller openings, there's smaller windows, there's smaller doors, which is typical of buildings of that era. And what's really interesting about this space as well is that it centralises and focuses on this courtyard, an open plan and garden, which has been so important for the clients, and I think which is such a draw point for them when they found this space.
When I left the initial meeting, I was so excited about the opportunities that I went to the bonnet of my car and just scribbled the ideas down on my trace paper on the front of the car. And if I look back to that piece of trace now, the vision that is now currently on paper is very much in line with what I saw when I walked onto site, which was a pretty cool experience.
The bakery, I think, has a lot of unique features. It's got definitely the tallest ceilings that I've ever worked on in a project. It really has beautiful bones with old hardwood timber trusses, some really beautiful brickwork, and the bricks are over 100 years old. Even the timber, you know, we couldn't buy some of the timber that's here in this building today.
We've reused everything that we can on site to give it another 100 years. Not a single brick has been bought from anywhere else. Every brick has been repurposed on site. These days everybody just buys new, buys new, buys new. So it's great to be able to use the products that is actually here on site, which I really love. We're all country kids, and there's a saying on the farm, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we're restoring this building and rejuvenating it, but not totally knocking down the building and starting again.
My notion is this house is going to be something that the world has never seen before.
On the bakery, we've got a number of design consultants collaborating to come up with a shared vision and solution that achieves the design intent whilst aligning with the client's budget.
Collaboration on a project is
just such a sweet space to be in. On this project in particular, with Joey and Pamment Projects and Carin Design, everyone approached the project with openness and a degree of vulnerability, and really question how are we approaching this, and have this beautiful crossover between the parties where you really welcome other people's opinions, and it creates this incredible outcome where everything is considered and you've had all these beautiful minds come together to create an incredible product.
It's quite interesting to work with a project of this scale where it was solely internal, and from the outside you blink and you miss this project because it's not a typical renovation where there's cranes and you've knocked down the rear of the building and you're redoing a new structure. It's all internal.
As a team, we all worked together to use the material that was here on site as much as possible and honour the integrity of this warehouse building, that it used to be a place of work and it evolved over time to become a home, and now we've kind of put that next little bit of polish and brought new life into this old space and created lots of new beautiful spaces.
So we wanted to have as much handmade as we could. For example, the front of the joinery is hand painted. It's not sprayed with a polyurethane, it's actually hand painted with a brush to give it a little bit of unevenness, to get the feeling that this is not just machine made, it's handmade. The bun feet on the island is also timber. It's got like the shape of a little bread bun.
My name's Brendan. I'm a custom furniture maker based in Marrickville. I've been approached by the bakery project to make some bun feet for a kitchen island.
One of the first few meetings we had together as a team was with Sydney Steel Windows and Doors. A lot of the openings that face the internal courtyard are with their beautiful 3-metre high steel windows and doors. One in particular is a perfect circle steel window up on the first floor that gets brilliant winter light and morning light. That opening didn't exist, so we actually made that, bricked it out, framed it, rendered it, and then there was a huge team. It was a huge day that day of everyone installing this perfect steel window that actually pivots on its centre, so love that feature.
It's really trying to utilise the space but not overpopulating it either, and let it breathe. Another aspect we worked really hard on was to give the upstairs corridor some really nice width, to feel that you didn't just walk into this corridor that leads into bedrooms, but that the corridor, the passageway itself was also a beautiful space. It's almost like a gallery space where you can sit out on a bench and look out over the garden and see the trees and, you know, just feel the sun coming through those beautiful windows.
My favourite place is the Lennox Street entrance. There's a true lime green door, average sized door, and you walk in and you're met with a double height void. 3 original lanterns from David Jones' flagship store in Sydney that the client sourced.
My favourite room's the library. AC actually come up with like a different design, well, the same kind of design layout, and then I was the one that come up with the idea for plywood and paint it black, you know. So I take credit for that room. Don't tell AC.
We've used quite a lot of wallpaper, and it's probably not something I would normally always do. I mean, it's a very urban building, so we're sitting in the middle of Newtown and we have pubs and shops and traffic and buses going all the way around us. So how can we bring more of nature in? So all the wallpaper has got big flowers and forests and bees on them, so to really earth and connect the building into nature.
In this setting, it's such an urban, densified context, and you walk into this building and you have this incredible courtyard that is so surprising and unexpected. And we have played this role here where it's about turning this into not only a gallery space that you visually look onto, but something that feels soft and allows you to come home and feel calm. It's layered and it's a little bit wild and quirky. It feels like it's nature breaking through of what is a boxed courtyard space.
I wasn't 100% sold on the courtyard originally with the pebble finish, but it is definitely something that now has kind of won my heart a little bit with it's not just the feel, but it kind of transports you a little bit just with the sound as well of sort of walking through the pebbles, and it is so serene, really is a little oasis.
This is the end of the design process for us, but it's the beginning of the garden journey, and it's going to take 3 to 5 years until it really starts to settle in, and longer for the trees. And that is the beauty of what we do. It will take time and it will evolve and it will change, and the client has put their trust in us, knowing that that vision is yet to come, and that's really exciting.
I think Carin, she's done an incredible job at a little nod to that warehouse industrial essence, but then there's these really delicate, almost feminine details with some of the brass fittings and tapware, beautiful marble, natural stone. A lot of the tiles and mosaics are really intricate, so it's been balanced really well with something quite masculine and strong, and then really, really beautiful high-end finishes.
I'm feeling so happy and proud of the achievement that we did as a team with AC and Asher and you guys. It's so amazing, and just the finishes, everything looks so good. Everybody that comes has the best comments and feedback about the project, and it's great to be able to see the final details and everything really come together. And now all the landscaping and everything outside is growing. It just it feels like a real home. When you're here every day in the construction site, it just doesn't feel like a home. And when you come back and actually people are living here, it's just so, it just brings happiness and joy to me.
I felt in the beginning this is going to be something that the world has never seen before, and I believe the world has actually never seen anything like this before. Not in this setting, with this heritage, with this outcome around all these elements that we have found a way of implementing into this building. I'm incredibly proud of all of us, the way that this collaboration, what's come out of it, everyone's dedication to making the best possible, I think has been incredibly rewarding.
The bakery has been the most incredible project to work on, and to have been involved in this project at such an early stage in our business, we're just so grateful. It's the perfect project, really. It's the most beautiful site, a fantastic design team where collaboration has just been at its best.
There was this unsung language of commitment and dedication and care for this building, and that was really special for us to see. That just was this sort of unwritten rule of this whole project, that it was just total professionalism and care and respect for this building.
I think the design process can often be a little daunting for people because it's fluid and you don't know where it's going to go. But a great design team should be a huge amount of pleasure to work with, and it should feel easy and like you're in really good hands.
I think we have achieved everything that we wanted with this project. You walk in here and you feel incredible. Alvar Aalto, the Finnish architect, said that a building is never finished until it's demolished, and I think this building will not be demolished for a very long time, and it's not finished, but the foundations of the next 100 years are put in place.